Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm David Zhang. Here is a preview of some of today's top stories. Local leaders in Sacramento are now helping the illegal immigrants who were dropped off at the state capitol. Florida officials also shared footage of the journey. Another insurance company is ending business in California. They say costs are now too high to operate here. A California school district is recognizing Pride Month, leading to local protests. They recently clashed with the counter-protesters and a group of Antifa members. We have more details on the illegal immigrants flown to Sacramento in recent days. Florida state officials confirmed to NTD the migrants volunteered to go to California. NTD's Daniel Monahan has the video they provided to back up their claims.
The video starts out with a group of people filling out forms, and others happily riding in a private bus with music playing. They can then be seen on a private plane, and upon landing in California, one man gives thanks to God.
Ya llegamos a California, gracias a Dios, vale. Agradecido con Dios.
The illegal immigrants were asked by a policewoman about their treatment.
¿En ningún momento ustedes se sintieron que estaban no?
Trataron súper bien.
Sí. Sí, lo único que se sientan bien ustedes.
And one man expressed his gratitude.
Thank you for my room. My life in the street is very, very heavy.
Florida officials told NTD that the transported migrants wanted to go to California and gave verbal and written consent. They say a contractor ensured they made it safely to the Catholic Charities NGO, which is used and funded by the federal government. Florida says such transports have been organized by multiple so-called left-leaning mayors. They cited New York City Mayor Eric Adams' transport of 340 migrants to other locations in the state, and former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot's transport of migrants, with one suburb alone receiving 100 individuals. California Governor Gavin Newsom tweeted on Monday, insulting Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and saying, "This isn't Martha's Vineyard, kidnapping charges," and attached a section of the California Penal Code. While Attorney General Rob Bonta discussed potential repercussions on CNN.
We are looking at the possibility of criminal liability, including kidnapping.
Meanwhile, those in Sacramento are just getting down to the business of helping out the new arrivals. Daniel Monahan, NTD News.
Now that the illegal immigrants are in Sacramento, local leaders are promising to help them settle in. Although there are legal and political implications, they said they will focus on finding the people shelter and jobs.
City officials and faith leaders in Sacramento are vowing to assist a group of asylum seekers flown to the city in the past week. Sacramento Mayor Daniel Steinberg said he wanted to highlight the work being done to assist the immigrants in finding shelter, clothing, and jobs.
More than anything else, it was very clear to me that while they were grateful for our community's help and support, they were not asking for anything. The only thing they want is the opportunity to give back, to work hard, and to contribute to this country so that they can help their families.
They couldn't have led in a better place because Sacramentans knew what it means to come together, and we are here to walk with them. We don't know where that journey is going to take us, but we're here to walk with them. And so I just want to thank the community, and I want to thank all of our partners for standing with us today.
California Attorney General Rob Bonta says about 20 adults, mainly from Venezuela, were flown by private jet to Sacramento on Monday. 16 other migrants arrived Friday.
We really do want to talk about these migrants and what we've been doing to provide hospitality for them today. We're aware there are other dimensions to this story, political and legal, but we're not touching on those. The volunteers here have been working with these asylum seekers to receive them while in Oakland.
They are the latest apparent instances of a Republican-led state transporting migrants to ones controlled by Democrats.
Another major insurance provider has announced that it's no longer selling new policies for personal and business properties in California. This comes as the company says inflationary pressures and growing exposure to wildfire risks lead to a spike in costs. Allstate, the fourth largest provider of casualty and property insurance in the Golden State, said in a statement that it had paused providing new homeowner policies to Californians. The company said the cost to insure new home customers in California is far higher than the price they would pay for policies due to wildfires, higher costs for repairing homes, and higher reinsurance premiums. Allstate said in the same statement that this pause began last year, but an Allstate representative told KTLA that the change does not impact existing customers or their ability to renew their policies. Word of Allstate halting new insurance sales in California comes on the heels of a similar decision by State Farm, the state's largest homeowner insurance provider. State Farm said that inflationary pressures and rising exposure to wildfire risks stood behind its decision to discontinue providing new policies to homeowners, as in the case of Allstate, existing customers would not be affected by the change. A school district in Southern California received a public backlash after it acknowledged Pride Month. There were protesters and counter-protesters, and among them were Antifa.
Hundreds of protesters holding both the American flag and rainbow flag gathered at the Glendale Unified School District headquarters on Tuesday. They were there to protest and counter-protest the school district for recognizing Pride Month. It was mostly peaceful until a small group of individuals started a physical fight. Police were present to ensure public safety. According to the Glendale police, at least 3 individuals were arrested for various charges, which includes unlawful use of pepper spray and obstructing officers. Attempts to de-escalate the crowd failed, so police ordered them to disperse at 6 p.m.
Farmer labor unions in California could get a boost in membership. That's with the new election rules that the unions say they will make it easier for workers to organize. The new revisions keep in place a card checking system favored by unions that allows workers to sign a card authorizing a union to represent them in collective bargaining. A mailing system would have required employees to contact unions and request voting kits to participate in elections. Proponents say unions like to organize under the card checking system. It allows them to have face-to-face conversations with workers, and they can sell the benefits of joining a union. Critics say it violates farm workers' rights to a secret vote and could make it easier for unions to coerce and intimidate workers during union elections. A proposal to ban police canines in certain situations was recently shelved, but lawmakers are expected to bring it back for consideration next year. The bill would have made California the first state to restrict police dogs.
A bill that would have limited the use of police dogs has been shelved until the next legislative session. Assemblyman Corey Jackson and Ash Clara introduced Assembly Bill 742 in February to end what they called a, quote, deeply racialized and harmful practice of using police dogs. But Jackson then pulled the bill from the Assembly floor on May 31st. AB 742 was supported by 30 organizations, including the California Public Defenders Association and National Police Accountability Project, and opposed by about 40 groups, especially law enforcement agencies. LA County Sheriff Robert Luna agreed with prohibiting the use of canines for crowd control during protests, but also said, quote, I cannot support a bill that severely restricts an officer's ability to employ a proven, effective, and less lethal option that can de-escalate other potentially life-threatening situations. The legislation would have made California the first state to restrict police from using canines for arrests and crowd control. Under the legislation, law enforcement could still use canines in certain rescue operations for detecting bombs and sniffing out narcotics.
We'll take a short break now, but here's a look at what we have for you when we come back. Rideshare drivers are protesting Uber and Lyft's app deactivation citations. They're asking for more transparency from these companies. In-N-Out is starting to sell tickets for their upcoming anniversary festival. We'll have more on what the festivities include. Some scuba divers are taking the classroom to the ocean. A special program allows students to see the wonders of the sea right from their seats. Those stories and more coming up on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, David Zhang. Rideshare drivers are asking for more transparency in Uber and Lyft's deactivation citations. Drivers say they want a fair chance at disputing such cases and for these companies to provide more information behind what triggers a citation.
Rideshare drivers and the California Gig Workers Union rallied at the San Francisco International Airport on Tuesday morning to call on Uber and Lyft for more transparency over their deactivation citations. This comes as rideshare drivers across the country have been reporting unexpected account deactivations for the last few years.
They tell us that they've been deactivated, they don't know why. They try to get information to find out what has happened. And when they do reach someone, they say that they've been cited for some citation, although they have not been notified of it. And they try to find out why they've been cited and they can't get this information.
Now, Uber says on their website that they will alert a driver when possible if they are at risk of deactivation. The company adds that they may remove access without warning under specific cases. However, drivers who claimed the company deactivated their accounts without prior notice are now asking for more transparency in such cases.
And there's no due process. We don't know if it's a mistake or if it's real. There's no way to find out. Now, anytime you get in trouble, if you get a ticket, you have your day in court, right? And so you could go to court and challenge what the officer did.
According to current guidelines at Uber and Lyft, a driver could be deactivated for a variety of reasons. This may include vehicle issues, failed background checks, fraud, discrimination, harassment, or poor ratings. Once deactivated, Uber and Lyft allow drivers to directly plead their case, but protesters say the success rates are low. Disputes between rideshare drivers and Uber and Lyft have been an ongoing issue. In addition to deactivation cases, wages, independent contractor employee status, and safety are among some of the top concerns.
The Orange County Sheriff's Office planned to increase patrols to catch traffic violations made by motorcyclists. The office released several safety tips for both car drivers and motorcyclists. Let's take a look.
Beginning on June 6th, the Orange County Sheriff's Office will increase patrols to catch motorcyclists violating traffic rules. According to the Sheriff's Department, motorcyclists are 28 times more likely than vehicle drivers to die in crashes due to the lack of vehicle protection. The spokesperson, Sergeant Mike Woodruff, told the Epoch Times, quote, "The emphasis on motorcycle safety, even just for one day, is an effort of hope to minimize the horrific outcomes a motorcycle crash can cause to the operator, but also to those other individuals, drivers, and witnesses who will forever be changed by the incident." According to the press release, drivers can help prevent motorcycle crashes by always checking rear-view mirrors and blind spots, using signals when changing lanes, and keeping a safe distance. Motorcyclists can increase their chances of survival by wearing approved protective gear and participating in the Motorcyclist Safety Program training.
Meanwhile, in Southern California, San Diego's neighborhood of La Jolla is considering filing a formal application with the state agency to become its own city. But to do so, it still needs to receive a majority approval from voters. Here's more.
Instead of being a neighborhood in San Diego, La Jolla is considering filing a formal application with the state agency to become its own city. According to the San Diego Union Tribune, the effort has been around since the 1940s. The Association for the City of La Jolla said, quote, "La Jolla is a regional destination and should be maintained and serviced to the highest level so all people can enjoy this unique natural and cultural asset of San Diego County. By governing ourselves, we can do better for all." The association claims the city of San Diego would benefit from its secession since it would no longer have the burden of upkeeping the neighborhood's aging infrastructure. According to a poll conducted in May 2022 by the La Jolla Town Council, 87% of the 385 La Jolla residents were in favor of incorporating and becoming a city. To become its own city, the association needs a majority of approval votes from registered voters within the proposed boundary map, as well as a majority of voters in the city of San Diego.
In-N-Out is starting to sell tickets for their 75th anniversary festival. The celebration includes drag racing events, car shows, carnival rides, and concerts. Here are the details.
The Irvine-based fast food chain In-N-Out announced tickets are now on sale for its 75th anniversary festival on October 11th at the In-N-Out Burger Panoma Drag Strip. Founded in 1948 in Baldwin Park, California, the burger chain has grown to over 300 locations across 7 states. In-N-Out owner Lindsay Snyder announced the anniversary festival last month when In-N-Out became the sponsor for the Panoma Drag Strip. She said, quote, "Panoma Racetrack is very nostalgic for me because I came here as a little girl to watch my dad race." According to organizers, the festival includes drag racing events, car shows, carnival rides, and concerts. All concert proceeds will go to the Slave to Nothing Foundation, which aims at tackling human trafficking and drug addiction.
And to wrap up the evening, we have 2 cute animal stories. Recently, the Oakland Zoo welcomed a new baby monkey. Its mother and father are first-time parents.
A pair of white-handed gibbons at the Oakland Zoo are the proud parents of a new baby. Zookeepers say the baby was born on May 28th to Mother May and Father Rainier. They say that May, a first-time mom, is demonstrating excellent maternal care. Gibbons mate for life, and May and Rainier have been a couple since being introduced at the zoo in 2019. The baby's gender has yet to be determined, and it has not yet been named. White-handed gibbons are native to tropical rainforests in southern and Southeast Asia. They are classified as an endangered species.
To celebrate and appreciate all things ocean, California state divers held a live broadcast underwater. They spoke directly to classrooms across the state. Let's dive into the story with NTD's David Lamb.
It's not, we're chilling down here, literally. It's about 50-something degrees. And
expert scuba divers went underwater to give several classrooms across the state a special look on Wednesday.
Patrick and I are underwater here on the central coast of California near Monterey. We are in Point Loma State Marine Reserve.
This is part of Ocean Week, ahead of World Ocean Day on June 8th. NTD spoke to diver Erica Delamar.
We just gave 2 programs to 2 different classrooms, one down in San Diego and one up in Eureka and Humboldt County. So we just talked to different students in different parts of the state about our beautiful marine protected area here.
Students in San Diego and Eureka had a chance to see what it's about, with no divide between land or ocean.
Does kelp use photosynthesis?
yes, they do. You can see just from the color of the kelp that it likes to photosynthesize. It's a brown algae.
California state parks also held a logo competition with over 130 student participants. This year's winner was submitted by Lily H.
The kelp forest is by far one of the most amazing things to explore on the California coast. Along our entire coastline, we have 124 marine protected areas. So essentially these underwater protected areas, similar to our state parks.
The California Department of Parks and Recreation manages nearly 280 state park units in California and over 300 miles of coastline. Representatives hope to preserve the ocean for generations to come.
We certainly would encourage everybody, if you live near the coast, to go out and do a beach cleanup or go learn something from a local park or agency. But how we celebrate is bringing the live underwater aspect, which is really where all the magic happens, to as many students as we can. Today's live program goes one-to-one with a couple of classrooms, very special.
We all play a really important role in protecting our global ocean. A lot of people think the ocean separates us from other countries and other nations and other continents, but the ocean truly connects us all.
According to the NOAA, the Pacific Ocean holds over half of Earth's open water supply. It was named by explorer Ferdinand Magellan in 1520, who called this body of water Pacific due to the calmness of the water at the time. Pacific means peaceful.
Now we're going to check in with NTD's Carlos Reyes for our sports roundup.
This is your California Sports Roundup, and I'm Carlos Reyes. First up, Jace Peterson homered twice in a 5-hit, 5 RBI night, and Shea Langeliers and Brent Rooker also went deep as visiting Oakland smacked Pittsburgh to snap a 5-game losing skid. A's starter James Caprillion went 6 innings, allowing 2 runs and 4 hits with 1 strikeout and 5 walks as his club avoided its 16th straight road loss, which would have been an Oakland-era franchise record. The Pirates had won 6 games in a row. As for Pittsburgh, starter Mitch Keller gave up 5 runs and 8 hits in 5 innings, with 1 strikeout and 4 walks. The Athletics grabbed the lead for good with a 3-run 6th. Athletics 11, Pirates 2. Patrick Bailey, Lamonte Wade Jr., and Thairo Estrada had 3 hits apiece, and San Francisco beat Colorado in Denver. Wade scored 3 times and drove in 2 runs for San Francisco, which had 8 doubles and 9 extra base hits in its 9th straight win over the Rockies. J.D. Davis tallied 3 RBIs. Jurickson Profar had 4 hits and 2 RBIs, and Ryan McMahon added 2 hits for Colorado. Giants 10, Rockies 4. Elbow injuries like the one Brock Purdy suffered during the NFC Championship game against the Philadelphia Eagles filled the San Francisco 49ers with doubt about his future. Here was one of the most exciting new talents of the season who suffered a serious injury at a key moment. Purdy even got through the operating room in order to fix the issue right after the game. These injury recoveries tend to last several months, as predictions placed Purdy returning late in the season that's about to begin. But recent reports from his recovery are keeping the San Francisco 49ers fans hopeful that he could actually start from Game 1 of the upcoming season. According to renowned 49ers beat reporter Matt Mayoko, the 49ers anticipate that Brock Purdy will be fully cleared for play around August 21st, 20 days prior to the start of the season, and is expected to start Week 1 after making a full recovery. Given that he hurt his throwing arm, Brock Purdy has been working hard on his mechanics in order to return even stronger than before. Purdy has been silently preparing for his return and is getting some excellent results due to his dedication, much to the relief of the 49er faithful. That is it for today's Sports Roundup. Thank you for watching. I'm Carlos Reyes.
Thanks, Carlos. And that's all we've got for you tonight. We would like you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts at ntd.com/California-today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with your friends and family. Send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Gunjin World, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. I'm David Zhang. Have a wonderful evening.